Greetings, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. So, as it turns out, I couldn't find anyone to PvP again, so either my information was incorrect, or it's just the fact that I'm playing at roughly midnight. No, make that 3 in the morning, so you know, there's that. So, time to get on to my timer, and then Majula, for item upgrades and spell testing and so on. Alright, first and foremost, let's make you shut up! And then level up. So let's see. Aw, we can't quite get to 100 dexterity. 100 agility there. But we can get to 99 and then it skips a point, so then we're going to move up to here and get some more stamina. Have I picked up any of these? No. Alright. Now it's time to use that fire seed we got and upgrade the pyromancy flame. Aww. But we can fix this. We can fix this. This is why I never consume my large souls, my item souls, until the end of the game. Because I use them for shopping. Now we can do this. Plus 8. Now I wonder, since we are given the option to continue with giving her gear, if she doesn't have some kind of special story advancement that happens if you give her the correct gear.
I'm always here.
Let's see. Alright, so one thing I thought of is to go and check and see if the Miracle Lady is still down by the switch that she activates. I'm going to assume that she probably is until I actually enter an area that will cause her to advance in her storyline, because she activates the switch for us and charges us money every time she does it, so probably stays there. Even though, you know, we can warp right past her once we've got the bonfire out of it. Yep. Is there anything I want to buy from you?
You must have a glorious number of souls by now. What a wonderful feeling that must be.
Your clothes are doing the weirdest things, lady. There's no wind in this area. I don't need to buy that. It increases faith. Now this might actually be of use to me. Can I get my stats to come up? Yeah, I do have 6 faith, so an item that increases my faith wouldn't be all that bad a thing now that I have an attunement slot. Let's see, because depending on how much it gives me, I might be able to equip a heal miracle or force, which is a fun miracle. Guidance is kind of pointless, but I like force. It's fun. Does it still say, not directly cause damage, but continuity? It doesn't say that it deflects shots. In the previous game, it said, not only said, but did that. That could be a fun trick to use to surprise someone every now and then.
Miracles have been passed down through us since the first flame. Isn't it extraordinary to think they've existed since the very origins of the world? And now, you can have this power for yourself. Don't miss out on the road to enlightenment. What is the well, it's... You're not ready to comprehend it, I'm afraid.
Right.
You require more faith, and more miracles. Many more miracles.
You know, the echo in here is really loud, lady.
To cast miracles, miracles began as we preserve their will with law. You must. Miracles. Isn't... And now...
Okay, so all 3 of these are just repeat messages.
To cast
Please shut up.
Oh, done.
Yes, very done. Okay, so the split here goes to Hade's Tower of Flame and the docks, I believe. Let's take a quick stroll down there just to check.
Leave me. I'm interested in what?
Okay, so I stand corrected. This does not lead to the docks. But it is not where I need to be anyway. Alright, so no need for that. But I do have one thing to show you guys. In the previous game, chaos spells were very powerful and 9 times out of 10 took 2 attunement slots. Not this game! I can equip the Chaos Storm, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Let's swing it. Behold the power of fire. As a note, I can't move while that's happening. Additionally, while it seems to leave behind tiny bits of lingering flame, in the previous game it left behind lava. I don't know if those little bits of lingering flame are still valid damage sources, but the spell itself is super fun. Kind of worthless in PvP unless you've got somebody to distract the enemy, and you yourself want to be a distraction because you think you're tanky enough to take them basically punching you in the ass and then backstabbing you. But, you know, pointed again, very fun spell. Alright, but its description. The Chaos Flame is said to have devoured the mother of pyromancy. Create multiple pillars of chaos flame. Those who sought great power were consumed by their own desires. Where are these lost souls now? Alright, and I've already read this, but let's check these again. Hex that casts a dark flame upon corpses, causing them to combust violently. Hexes such as these that tamper with life itself are particularly abhorred. And Dark Orb. Kilia, father of hexing. Use hexes, blah blah blah, nothing new. Have I gotten any other spells since then? Preserved only in the Undead Crypt. Inflicts heavy damage on mindless hollows, but has no effect on anything else. It's a place of rest for the living. Those afflicted by the curse can only pray to one day gain entrance. There we go. An ember radiating a dull light. This flame seems nearly exhausted. It exhibits an eerie resilience. Perhaps this is its ordinary state. And I believe I also got opens the iron door of the Iron Keep. Key to the iron door of the Iron Keep. The Iron King's castle sunk into a lake of fire, weighted down by the castle's iron and the burden of the king's conceit. Over the ages, the iron was stripped from the castle by opportunistic passerbys. The iron door, too, must be somewhere, far away. I think this will probably allow me to open some of those weird doors that have been locked in random places around the world that I've discovered. Now, remembering where all of them are is going to be a bit fun, but, you know, we can try. Or it could open the smaller doors. Not sure. I only have one Pharaoh's Lockstone, which makes me sad, because I probably could have saved some of them that I'd used, and, you know, open some more special doors in Pharaoh's Zone. But, nonetheless, let's see. Any other rings today that are special to note? Nope. We acquired the Blade Ring +1, which is nice. I'll be putting that on instead of this when I go adventuring again into new areas, instead of just grinding out and upgrading. We got the Great Axe, which I already examined and read. Let's see, did we get any other weapons? We picked up a spare black steel katana, but I've already gone through and read that one. And I believe I only have, yeah, one chunk, so I can't upgrade the Zweihander anymore. At least not down a regular upgrade path. Alright, so I think that's it for this area. Now, fun as Chaos Storm is, having only 2 castings, it's essentially being a melee spell, and me having to sacrifice my shield to use my pyromancy, I'm just going to opt back into the Fire Orb instead of the Fire Whip for everything else. Now it's time to go to the Lost Bastille. Huntsman's Copse. Now, I'm still wondering about these orange borders. I wonder if that's a signal that I can use the Iron Key on those. The other place I think I remember them being is in, yeah, this area, and it doesn't have an orange border. I think one of the dead ends around this area after a, what was it, a split in the road? I'm looking for the place that had the foggy forest in it. Shaded Woods, here we go. Yeah, this area also doesn't have a border around it. And I know there's one of those weird doors in it. So I'm going to guess that that's not what the orange border around a location means. Now I've noticed that the Iron Keep has lost its border. So maybe this does mean that there's an additional boss in this area that I haven't found yet. I'm pretty sure that I haven't fully explored those crypts that had the necromancers in them, so that's a potential option. Go back and examine those again. Additionally, since that pursuer popped up in a place where I killed a boss, that may mean that it's worth going to check every boss location I've defeated again. Which is, you know, just a thrilling prospect. I love backtracking. Nevertheless, time to go to McDuff. Alright, here we are. Nothing to fight, I'm pretty sure.
Flame, flame, I smell flame upon you. I'm McDuff the Blacksmith. All I want is a little flame. So, hand that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile. What a marvelous ember. You've got stones, I pray. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
Ooh, infused weapon. No items in need of repair. Standard reinforcement options. Now he has a shop. A bastard sword, which I already have one of. Uchi katana. Katana of unknown origin, crafted with a peculiar yet refined technique. This finely sharpened blade of a katana slices with unmistakable smoothness, but should be wielded with caution as its delicate constitution means it's easily worn. Yeah, only 40 durability on it. Good damage, though, with a slash and a thrust, so I could bet it works just like it did in the previous game, as basically the default orientation of katana attacks. A great axe, which is clearly a strength weapon, and therefore something I could use, but I'm not very fond of great axes anyway, and I'm pretty sure the Gurm one I have is going to be better anyway. This great axe, crafted with a gigantic, weighty blade, is designed to inflict heavy damage and requires inhuman strength to wield. Inhuman strength to handle. English. I can read it. Each swing of the great axe requires the full force of the body, leaving the wielder wide open. Mastering this weapon will require the most thorough training of both body and mind. Oh, and here's a winged spear. A spear with winged lugs. Longer than standard spears, allowing for attacks from further away. Thrusting attacks are effective even against opponents with high defense, but they have a narrow point of contact and won't effectively break through a shielded defense. Which basically means that even against medium shields, your attack is going to bounce off and stagger you a little bit. A scythe fitted with a large custom blade. Has an extended slashing reach when swung broadly, but beware, these attacks make the wielder very vulnerable. Which means it has the halberd overstep, basically. Royal Kite Shield. A metal shield issued to knights. Nothing special about this shield, which is precisely why it is so easy to use, and the likely reason for its popularity. People rarely agree over what constitutes quality, but the broad popularity of these shields proves that these are exceptions. Iron arrow, iron great arrow. Yeah, great arrow, so it's fired from a great bow. We'll go ahead and restock these. Now I'm out of souls. Repair powder. And he has an infinite supply of large shards. Lord be praised. Select item to infuse. Oh. Magic. Which requires a faint stone that I don't have, apparently. Old mundane stone. Wow, it really drops the damage and doesn't give it anything else. Why would you do this? Don't know. Definitely not doing it on my Claymore. Enchanted, which increases... Let's see. Yeah, a magic weapon just adds magic damage. And a little bit of stat scaling drop and a little bit of magic damage. Wait. B. C. Oh, I get it. An enchanted weapon will convert your magic damage into physical damage. In the previous game, a magic weapon just had a high base magic damage and a very decent intellect scaling. In this game, it appears that instead, a magic weapon now has immense magic scaling and splits the damage into physical and magical. And of course, drops the regular physical stat scaling. But an enchanted weapon converts your intellect into physical damage, which is much more useful and greater for adapting a build to multiple situations. Dark, which is, no, raw. So I've already explained raw, but basically you horribly ruin the stat scaling, as you can see from it all dropping to an E. But it massively increased the base damage. This is good for a weapon that you want to use, even though it doesn't technically fit your build. Hopefully you would choose a weapon with high base damage. Bleed, which is fairly straightforward, it adds bleeding to the weapon. Poison, dark, also straightforward. I don't have the stones for that, though. A Dark Knight Stone, probably sold by one of the NPCs that keep fobbing me off because I'm not smart enough to talk to them. I'm surprised that I haven't gotten one of these, though. But I do have a Magic Stone, which applies the Enchanted. Alright, so all of these cost 2,000, and I'm not particularly keen on dropping and converting this into a physical type weapon, like dropping its physical damage. I like that its stats scale super well as it is currently. Now it scales in a balanced area, so it's not really super well fitted to my strength type build, but I love the Claymore. Like, I just like it. It's a weapon that I find to be very well rounded. I find it very weird that the damage is consistently like this on all respects. That reminds me, I should have, yeah, a longsword that's upgraded and one that isn't. Alright, so level 1 converts to a 78, 79. This is already converted to it. And this one, oh, so, yeah, I think my assistant manager briefly explained this to me. That in this game, you simply convert a weapon and then regularly upgrade it with normal Titanite, which explains why I haven't found very many of the special shard types. You could convert this? Wow. That's interesting. Specialty weapons in the previous game basically were exclusively upgraded with Twinkling Titanite and couldn't be... Not only couldn't be modified like this, but also couldn't be... Like, you couldn't apply gold pine resin, charcoal resin, and all that, all pine, like poison resin. You couldn't, basically you couldn't buff the weapon with spells or powders. They chose to rescind that in this game, which is very interesting. Yeah, you can even modify a boss weapon. Wait a minute. I can't modify it to have bleeding or poison, though, which is interesting. So I can only modify its outright base damage. I can't apply a special stat to it. I really don't know what Old Mundane would do. Oh, modifying a shield is a great idea. So let's see, I have... No, but it will drop the fire defense. So I could drop its fire and physical defense and boost its defense in other areas, which kind of defeats the purpose of it. But for something more balanced like this... And there's the time, and we haven't even actually gotten anything done this episode. So this will be a Faff About episode with a nice big warning in the label and the description, but hey, you know, once you're fairly warned. Yeah, this could become a... Well, yeah, I have the Grim Great Shield, there would be no point to this. There are several of these are quite effective, actually. So if you wanted to specialize a set of shields... Aw. Now this would be a good shield to apply, say, a raw upgrade to, if that actually worked, but it doesn't, so... You know, there's that. Yeah, it's interesting that you can specialize your shields now to block one particular thing. I would bet you can... Oh, right, we got a new shield. A small shield decorated with a phoenix. Sea of flame that swallowed the Iron Keep took this shield as well, but when it was retrieved, it was mysteriously unscathed, save a degree of discoloration. Yeah, it has 90% fire block. Which would mean... Oh, it doesn't specialize very well since it already has a high fire block. And no, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for Cleric's Small Shield. And yes, you can specialize it a very tiny amount in additional magic protection. And probably enhance it even further to that end, since it can parry spells, which is very interesting. That's really, that's really good to know. I'm very interested in that particular mechanic. Now this would be a particular weapon to upgrade for bleeding. I don't really have any good choices for something that I would actually wield that I would want to modify. No, now that we know about this, let's try reinforcing this fire weapon. Yeah, it uses shards. So basically, when you specialize a weapon, let's take out my mace and try that. No, infuse. If I say, wanted to modify my claymore. Yeah, the claymore is at +10. So this is what the claymore would be like at any given modification at max value. 200, it would take off roughly 90 damage in physical and add 200 in magic, fire, or lightning, or dark. And I could add 140 poison or bleed. Use it to boost the physical damage way up, but massively deduct my stat scaling on it. Convert my intellect into it, which would be the dumbest thing ever I could do, and make it mundane for really, really obscure reasons. And I would be willing to bet that, yeah, this just converts it back into a physical weapon, which would be a horrible, horrible idea. Alright, so there's all of that, then.
Flame, dear flame, I give you my all, and you waver and falter. From the start of time, flame allowed man to flourish, and even now he devises new fiery arts, but his reason makes him doubt flame. And so we waver and falter. The power of flame, power of the gods. In the end, it is all beyond our reach. And so, flame allures us, and we attempt to harness its power. Flame, dear flame. Flame, I give you my...
Alright. So we finally unlocked this guy. He has some additional options for us, but most of them are kind of pointless for me at this point in time. Yeah. Let's see, how heavy is this? 4 pounds?
Flame.
Yeah, he's much happier, if still completely crazy, now that we've given him his steer flame. Let's see. This is 3 pounds and only 90 physical block. This is the previous physical block I had, which is 100 for 6 pounds, so the shield is definitely greater in that respect. I would bet this has higher magic protection, though. Let's see, do I have any other full physical block medium shields? Rust shield, which is 5 pounds. So yeah, he sells a really great full physical block shield. Let's check its other stats.
I ought to flame.
64 fire protect, and the rest of the stats are kind of mediocre, even 50 block in lightning.
Be gone.
Yeah, so he's slightly less crazy now, but you know, still crazy. Well, that's it for this episode. We spent a bit of time faffing about and collected some stuff, sort of. I mean, I'm not really going to do anything with this. I'm getting 97 damage from my stats. And 131 because this is much more specialized for strength, so I should really just go ahead and volunteer.
I ought to fetch a new one. Flame.
Alright, so there we go. Now that I know the way the upgrade mechanics in this game work, I feel much more confident in using one of my stones to just go ahead and upgrade my mace to the max 10. would have been nice to have known that sooner so I could have been squeezing out just that little bit more damage. I wonder if it also upgraded. Yeah, the stat scaling went up. So now I went from 130 to 132. So, yeah, no. Still great scaling, but it only went up moderately. But there you go. Alright, that's it for this episode. Next time, well, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go at this point. So we're just going to scour around for those metal doors I found and hope that the iron key works on them. If it doesn't, we're going to have to scour even harder to figure out where we're going from here. So I hope you all had a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.